Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. This is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries. It is the final day of Hanukkah. It is the third day of the 10th month, and it is the Sabbath day, January the 4th, 2013. There's an issue that I wanted to prayerfully discuss that has been brought up not only in the Skype meetings, but also with some comments that have been left. And that is people thinking that somehow I'm arrogant, or that we're arrogant for saying that we're part of the 144,000. And basically, this is a whole wrong concept. I had one guy who said, well, Daniel, you know, with that type of attitude, you're definitely going to be a martyr. Folks, the issue is this. Yah does not want us to be martyrs at the hands of the son of perdition. This is why he gave us the promise in Luke 21, verse 36. He said, pray that you're accounted worthy to escape all these things that are to come to pass upon the earth. Now, it doesn't mean that we have some pre-tribulation rapture that whisks us out, you know, in the middle of all this niceness and we get to escape the tribulation. It doesn't mean that. But what it does mean is that we can pray that we're part of the congregation of Philadelphia. Remember, there's 7 congregations in Revelation. Only one of them is given the promise to escape, to be taken out of the hour of temptation that's come upon the whole world. And we can pray to be part of that congregation. We can pray to the, you know, Luke 21:36, and then Yah will be faithful to allow us to escape this tribulation. And it's not through a rapture. It's basically, if you want to know how to escape the 3.5-year tribulation between, you know, spring of 2014 and fall of 2017, you need to read Revelation 12. It's right there. The woman flees into the wilderness, and she's protected for 1,260 days. Now, how do you become part of that woman? Well, that's what my 12 messages to the 144,000 are all about. That's what a lot of the podcasts I've made about, you know, like the characteristics of Philadelphia and praying for those characteristics in your life. That's what that's all about. The sealing of the 144,000, the one I made back on October 6th. If you go to my YouTube channel, you go back to October 6th, you can find it. If you go to my website, you'll see it there. That's what I've been trying to reach out to people and say, look, you don't have to be a martyr. You don't have to be left behind. You can be part of the woman that flees into the wilderness, given wings like an eagle, and yeah, the dragon tries to chase her, but ultimately the dragon fails. He casts water out of his mouth, and the earth helps the woman by swallowing the water, and the woman escapes and is in this safe place for, you know, 3.5 years. So it's not arrogant to want something that Yahshua himself commands us to pray. Now, who will be the martyrs? Well, it's going to be those of you out there and those people out there that are just sort of, they haven't gotten their garments prepared, they're not pressing in, they're not living holy. But those who are sincerely in love with Yahshua, you are pressing in to the Messiah with everything in you. You're loving him with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. You're loving your neighbors, yourself, and you're continuing to press into him on a daily basis. Those are the people that are going to be part of Philadelphia, the congregation of brotherly love, and will be caught into the safe place. What are the characteristics of Philadelphia? I listed this in a previous video several weeks ago. It says the key of David. David was a man after Yah's own heart. So it's having that heart that's just totally sold out to Yahshua, to Jesus. It's he that is holy. It's living sinless, living without sin, living pure. 1 John 3, 6 through 11. Where, like when Jesus tells the woman caught in adultery, go and sin no more. It's tasting that verse, living it, it's breathing. It's Matthew 5:48, be perfect as I am perfect. How? By loving your enemies, by trusting in him on a moment-by-moment, daily basis to live holy, to live without sin. So it's not arrogant to say that I'm one of the 144,000 or that I'm part of the woman. It's not arrogant for you to say that. It's a promise that you can grab a hold of, and that's what people don't understand. You know, Jacob, when he wrestled with that angel back in the Tanakh, which was literally, that angel was Yahshua, by the way. He's wrestling with Yahshua and wrestling with him all night. And he refuses to let Yahshua go until he's blessed. And eventually, the fight gets so desperate, lasts all night, that by morning, by dawn, you know, Jacob, as he's refusing to let Yahshua go in the wrestling, Jacob's hip gets broken. But He's no longer called Jacob, he's now called Israel. Jacob means the supplanter, and Israel means to overcome. So Jacob obtained the blessing. And that's what you have to be like. You've got to grab a hold of Yahshua's Zitzit. You've got to grab a hold of Jesus Christ, of Yahshua, and you've got to say, I'm not letting you go until you give me this blessing to go to the safe place. I'm not letting you go, Yahshua, until you allow me to go to this Revelation 12 safe place, to escape this hour of temptation, to escape all these things. I'm not letting you go, Yahshua, until I get this blessing. And yes, you may get broken. But you know what? Just like how Jacob got his hip broken, it says in the Psalms, David writes that Yahweh looks for a broken and a contrite spirit, a humble spirit, not a puffed up, proud spirit, not someone who thinks he has it all figured out, not someone who's simply saying, Daddy, as I get up this morning, how can I please you? How can I put a smile on your face? How can I obey your Torah, the Torah of Moses, to please you? Oh, put on Zitzit, that will please you? Okay, I'll put on Zitzit. Oh, keep the Sabbath day from Friday night to Saturday night, that will please you? Okay, I'll do it. Oh, you want me to follow the dietary laws in Leviticus 11? That will please you? Okay, I'll do it. It's not oh, do I have to do this? Or, no, Jesus did away with this. No, it's how can I obey as much of the word as possible to bring a smile to Yahshua's face? How can I love God with everything in me? How can I serve my fellow man? Husbands, how can you be sensitive and be gracious and love your wives? Wives, how can you serve and help your husbands? Friends, how can you help your fellow friends? Christians, believers, those of you in the bodies of Messiah, how can you serve each other? That's what it's about. It's all about Yah. Everything is about Yah, whether it's a marriage relationship, whether you're in a body of believers, like I have a Skype fellowship that's open every night. We all meet on a video conference. Whatever context it is, it's about serving each other and serving Yah, and it's all about Yah. It's all about advancing His kingdom and exalting His word and His blood atonement. That's what it's all about. So I hope that this clarifies this issue. This is the final day of Hanukkah. There are some explosive things going on in the news. I have sort of taken a break from doing that on Shabbat and reporting it, but the things I've been chronicling all week ever since last Shabbat, December the 28th, when Satan was cast down of heaven, I've been chronicling all these explosive news events, and my wife was very diligent about finding even more news stories that occurred yesterday, and I'll be reporting on those later tonight after Shabbat's over. But folks, there's no more time. You're either pressing into Him with everything in you or not, but to have this conception that it's arrogant to say you're part of the 144,000 or the woman, that's totally coming from the wrong spirit, and it's not even understanding that when Yahshua gives you a promise, He's giving it to you because He wants to keep it to you. It's the same notion as when He tells you to go and sin no more. He's not giving you an impossible thing to do. He's telling you a promise that He wants you to grab a hold of, that you can go and sin no more through His strength and His power. And likewise, you can be part of the woman that flees into the wilderness if you're willing to have the faith to grab a hold of that promise, to pray it, and to be pressing in daily. It's not a one-time deal. It's not like, oh, okay, I prayed it and I'm fine. No, it's pressing in daily. And that's what it means, folks, to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. This is Daniel John Lee reporting to you here on Shabbat, the last day of Hanukkah, in a trail called Shepherd's Dell. This is Torah Restoration Ministries. The website is www.spiritandtorah.com. You can actually click on the link in the description About tab below the video. Shabbat Shalom. And I hope you all had a very blessed Hanukkah. God bless.